Hello everyone, Ernesto here. Are you someone that feels like the Airborne update was a little bit untested?
I don't know if the devs actually tried recovering any planes in their testing, but it's not great. It's really, really ungreat.
The default flying controls require 3 hands. That's a bit weird. The developers only have 2 hands each. I actually counted it. Something just feels off with Airborne, and considering the delays, I'm pretty sure there was a design change mid-development. You see, I was ill for the past couple of days, and I'm still ill a little bit. So I decided to spend my free time in the worst possible way imaginable and research the history of a video game's update. Holy shit, I had to dig through a lot to find a single comment that proves my theory. As you can see, originally, planes were more realistic. In contrast to the current system, which doesn't require a lot of skill.
A high level of skill, more so than other parts of the game. More skill is required to fly. There is failure in flying. When you take off and land, these are things that you have to practice to try to get right.
Excuse me, what?
I kinda understand landing, okay? People are scared, and they don't really realize that you can just hold 2 buttons. But mate, who the fuck has any difficulty taking off? It's like the easiest thing in the game. You just put your engine to the max and you hold 1 button. Psst, check out my videos on maneuvering. When I first saw this, I thought the developers were trying to gild the lily, so to speak. They wanted to make flying look better. But then I realized that it was Mark who said that on the dev stream. The same Mark who had trouble taking off in the more realistic version of Airborne. This comment was made a year ago. When asked, he said that they are balancing it, but flying is still on the realistic side. This was in 2025, and I believe the change happened near the end of the year, because currently the planes are auto-balancing, so taking off can't actually be hard. I believe the reason why Mark thinks that it's hard to take off is because he did not test the new version. That's just a theory.
A game theory!
But do you really feel like this update was well tested? This change, in my opinion, breaks quite a lot of things in Airborne, so let's start with fighting. It's pretty shit, and absolutely unsatisfying, even with the balance changes. The reason why people enjoy dogfights in other games is because the planes have relatively low health, but they can also evade shots. Evading means that you don't cross the enemy's line of fire. Currently, you cannot freely roll or loop, which means you can't really evade shots. And that has a pretty apparent consequence. When you try to evade the enemy, often you will cross their line of fire, usually for a split second. That means that you are always going to get chip damage, so the planes have to be at least a little bit tanky. However, with more realistic flying, you can actually make the plane's health very low. This would not only result in more skillful fights, but also quicker ones, which kinda explains the developer's vision of small fuel tanks. I wanted to say that there is nothing wrong with you if you enjoy fighting right now, but no, dogfighting is just dog shit. Hey, listen, alright, that was a joke, alright, no need to get upset. And I'm going to be fair to you, and I'm going to analyze the footage of someone who's pretty positive about it. Thankfully, Robert made a video that's perfect for us. You should watch it, by the way, it's very well made. This is not a dig at Roberts, this is more of a dig at Airborne. With all that said, let's get into it. Starting the video, he talks about how you need skill and tactics for fighting, nothing unusual here.
Long as a Warden fighter was already patrolling, and we began circling each other in the sky. I broke off briefly to gain altitude and look for a better angle to re-engage. That's when another Warden plane joined the fight, turning it into a 2-on-1.
Holy shit, he already got himself into a 2 versus 1. What is going to happen? Oh, he dies from running out of fuel. Listen, that was a fluke. It won't happen again.
I tried engaging another Warden fighter, but it was simply too fast for me to track effectively. Honestly, the scout planes don't stand a chance against these fighter class planes.
He is in a scout plane, up against a fighter. What could possibly happen?
I eventually ran out of fuel once again.
Oh. At least he got a sweet kill on a damaged scout plane.
I pushed north toward the snowy area and immediately found myself in a fight against 4 Warden fighters.
It's 4 hot guys with big throbbing cocks ready to fuck that Robert. It's ram ranch time, baby.
With our fuel running low, we return to the airfield to rearm and refuel.
Well, maybe the next one? Well, not really, it's still the same. A little bit of circling around and then refueling. In the next clip, a bunch of colonials try to take out one warden. It doesn't really work and Robert crashes into a tree.
No!
Now, finally, after he goes back with the squad, they get a kill. I think the warden could have pulled up right there, but you know what? It's still a kill. He's also on low fuel. Alright, last clip. 7 majestic colonial fighters against 1 pathetic warden trash. What is going to happen? I'm not actually quite sure on this one. Robert didn't say that he died. The dude was still firing at the end, but I think they got his tail. But even if they killed him, that was a 7 versus 1. That was way too much time. I want to reiterate, this is not a criticism of Robert, this is a criticism of Airborne. Some people might say in the comments that you're just a cog in the machine, you're not supposed to have all that much fun. My brother in Christ, this is the most boring dogfighting ever. This is the dev branch. More action happens here than in the live server. You can constantly dogfight here. Even basic infantry gameplay is more exciting than this. Let's go over to the balance change and let's see what it did. A note that I don't believe balancing the HP in a plane fight would meaningfully change anything, but still we should analyze it. They reduced plane and part health by 66%, but they also increased shrapnel and light kinetic resistance, so technically the time to kill is the same. I would like to quickly mention balancing in Airborne. It's shit, but it also seems to be tailored around more realistic flying. For example, absolutely nobody would care if the torpedo bomber was strong, if you could easily shoot it down. But more importantly, there is a bigger balancing issue: AI anti-air. Imagine a bomber, or multiple bombers, who don't really care about dying because they are going for the good shit. They're going for a nuke or a dry dock. These are not some slow-ass partisans. Bombers have a mission time measured in minutes. How do you intercept them? Well, you're shit out of luck. Planes are not really an option, it just takes way too much time to notice them, get to the airport and get up in the air. And that's if you have an airplane out. If you don't, you have to go through the incredibly fun mechanic of building one yourself. Slowing down the planes wouldn't really help, because even at half the speed, the issues would persist, but the planes would feel shit. Ground anti-air also faces the same problems with the low mission time. You have to notice the enemy, you have to get into the anti-air, and you have to aim and shoot. You just don't have enough time for all of this. We already have AI in other parts of the game to slow the enemy down so we can react to them. But in Airborne, the AI could not really stop the enemy's movement. It would either kill the plane or damage it. Killing the plane would result in planes becoming useless, but if it only damages a plane, then the one-way bomber wouldn't give a shit, would he? You already know what I wanna say, right? Right now, it's pretty hard to make AI anti-air, but with more realistic flying, it wouldn't be so. If you make the turret shoot projectiles that only the fighter can evade, then the bombers would have to bring fighters to bait the turrets. This maneuvering would take some time so people can actually come and kill them. This may all be true, or maybe not. I do feel like a schizo looking way too much into a comment. The update really does feel untested though, so I'm not sure what happened there if not this. Regardless, thank you for watching everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Twitch. Now.